Hi, it's Matt Bisogno here, and coming very soon are the new mobile race cards on Geegeez. And in this video, I want to show you how they look, because there are some slight changes also to the usual desktop version, but more particularly to the mobile and tablet versions. So the new race cards homepage will look like this on a desktop, and the eagle-eyed amongst you may notice that it's a little bit wider than you're used to. In actual fact, it flexes with the size of your monitor, your screen. So if I make it a bit smaller, you can see that the width has changed there. In fact, I'm going to stick with that. Otherwise, it should look very, very similar to what you're using already, what you're used to. The idea is to keep it as similar, as unintrusively changed as possible if you're a desktop user. So as you can see, this is the desktop version of a race card, and everything is exactly as you know it now. No changes at all, so much the better. So that's good. And obviously the same for all of the tabbed components. So that is the desktop. Basically no change, but if you're viewing on a mobile device, things are quite different now. First of all, this is a replication, a wonderful bit of kit on within the Google's Chrome browser that enables me to show you the different flavors, if you like, the different varietals of the mobile cards. So this is an iPhone 6, 7 or 8. And as you can see, the buttons at the top are squeezed into a 3x3 grid with the drop downs that you're used to beneath them. And then you can see the race cards, or some of the race cards, beneath that. What you'll also notice is that they're truncated on the right hand side. And in order to view that additional data, you just finger scroll across like that. And you can see everything there. So we felt that was the easiest way to retain all of the information, basically. So what we want to do is we want to give mobile users as complete a service, a gold service, as we possibly can, mindful of the fact that there are, as you can see, some very severe space constraints on a mobile viewport. So let's have a look at a race from here. So if I click on the 230 at Wincanton, you can see that the layout here is actually very different. In fact, if I open that race, this is the normal, the standard version on desktop, which used to have that on mobile also, but it involved a lot of pinching and scrolling and various other things which are somewhat unintuitive. This is a slightly different layout, but a much more intuitive design. So you've still got your horse form, and again we're using this what we call horizontal scroll to get across to all the data. So all the data is there still, and the tables underneath as well. Jockey and trainer form equally, all still there, all requiring a little bit of horizontal scrolling in places. Your form comments are there, and breeding and sales comments also. So it's a much more succinct layout, and we only have these 5 icons on the mobile view in what is called portrait mode. So this is kind of tall and thin. If we rotate the phone into landscape mode like this, you can see that I've got my additional icons. So you can have any or all of the icons if you want them in landscape. So that's when you turn your phone so that you've got the long edge is horizontal along the bottom and the short edge up the side. And what you'll also notice is that some of the other columns have been spread out a little bit, because obviously we've got a bit more space to play with. So, and again, when you're looking in the detail, you can see more of the form lines in the viewport. Scroll across to the rest. So that's how the card tab looks. Let me go back to the iPhone 6 portrait mode, and the result is looks like that, and all of the data is in there actually. What I'll do is I'll find a historical result in a second and show you how that looks. In fact, why don't I do that now? So if I select a result, go to the results tab, and there you can see my hilarious Yorkshire developer on our development site with our fast results. Let's go to the results search, and we'll go back a bit, go to sometime in January. I'm looking for this will do, a race where we have sectional results, and here you can see we've got the sectional blocks. Here I've got the call points, which are the 5 sections. I could have OMC opening, middle and closing, which are 3 sections, and then I've got all my normal content at the top. So if I select the chart, you can see I've got my chart options here. I can do that by call points if I want, and that's pretty nifty. So let's get rid of the chart. You've got all your normal options from the drop downs there as well. We'll close the chart for a minute. If I wanted to look at the sectionals, you can see that they are all there for each runner in these nice little blocks, and again OMC is similar. The running lines are also there, and if I just rotate this again so you can see this is the normal view. Let's put it on call points with the sectionals as well. You can see that this is how it looks in the landscape view on your mobile phone. So everything's pretty neat and tidy. I actually really like it. I think we've done a really good job there with the space constraints. Future form and everything else that you know and love is also there. Let's go back to portrait. You can add your ratings as always you could, and the comments, the in-running comments are there as well, of course. And finally, if you tap on the race position, it will open up all of the detail for a horse in question. So this is the winner here, had a few runs since. That's the future form. There's the comment. Here is the sectional data and the running lines as well. So those are the results. They're pretty comprehensive, and essentially we've retained everything from the desktop view and just found a way to display it in this much more compact format. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I hope you like it. If you're a person, one of the many users who is interested in this sectional content. Full form, again, I think we've done a pretty good job here. Again, we've got the space constraints that mean we use the horizontal scroll. Everything's hidden away behind its header bar, so the filters are here. For instance, let's have a look at the this all-weather season for this jockey, which is Joe Fanning. Take a little second to load because Joe's had quite a lot of runs. In fact, let's look at his overall record. He's ridden 177 times on the all-weather this season, and those are his data. And these are the horses that he's ridden. No surprise that most of them are for Mark Johnston. So again, if you're in the landscape view, you've got a bit more data in the window. A little bit scroll across for the numbers on the right hand side, but generally speaking you'll have everything that you need there. Profiler just works great on any device, and either in landscape or portrait format. So this is portrait on a mobile phone, and again there are a few elements across to the right hand side, but basically all of the important data, or most of the important data, because it's all important data, most of the important data is in the native viewport, is what you can see immediately, and you can scroll down and do your normal profiling stuff with that and go from horse to horse as easily as that. So again, really happy with how we've retained that. Instant Expert is quite different actually. So what we've got here is on the portrait version, we've got a fairly kind of Instant Expert light, if you like, and we've only got for each of going, class, course, distance and field size, and the official ratings, we've got one block rather than the 3 that we normally have. rather than, let me just rotate that, rather than these three. So normally we have run, wins or place, and wins or place percent. So that is, so very obviously if you toggle your phone to be in landscape mode like this, you'll be able to see all of the data, and you can tap on it to get the constituent lines as you can excuse me, with the desktop version. But if you're looking in the portrait mode, then we've got this kind of skinny version here, where we just show what the numbers we actually show are the number of runs. So actually, if we look at this top row, my target, you can see 15, 0, 5, 5, 9. And then if I go to the portrait again, you can see here runs 15, 0, 5, 5, 9. And the reason we do that is because the thing about Instant Expert is we use the colour to inform us. But what I always want to know certainly is if a horse is green, for example, it's green based on how many runs. So in this example here, first response has got a couple of greens here with 2 runs. Now that'd be okay, but these greens for 5 and 9 and 10 runs are much more comforting in terms of replicability. Is that a word? In terms of the ability for replication. So that's why we do it that way. So these, the converse is also true. A horse like Blow Your Horn, which is favourite here, has got what ostensibly looks like a bad form profile with this row of almost unbroken row of red, but in actual fact, these 4 red blocks are based on 1 run. So, and it's possible that they're all the same run. And so we certainly wouldn't be damning a horse on the basis of 1 run. As you can see, there's 2 there because this is actually a historical race from the 11th of January. But so that's the kind of thing to keep in mind. That's why we've done it that way. So the numbers in the boxes are the number of runs on which the colour is based. And if you want to know how we work out the colours, you need to look at the user guide, because I've laboured this point long enough already. The other thing to say about Instant Expert Lite, which is this, actually a couple of things. I also want to mention that this top blue bar, you can get the rest of the information across there. But strictly in the context of Instant Expert Lite, you see we've got the horse jockey trainer sire here, but we haven't got the field, the race code and the all or handicap buttons, which are over here. So that is something to be aware of, that in the Instant Expert Lite we've had to forego a couple of elements there. Pace, let's move on to pace. Now pace is exactly as you have it. We've the 4 blobs that are normally in 1 row like that are now in 2 rows, two blocks of 2. We've got all your normal controls here with the pace prediction. We've got the historical tabular data in here, and we've got the pace chart at the bottom. Now as you can see, we can't fit all of it in. What you can do is you can go across here, do that, maybe put the heat map on, and then sort by draw, and then you can essentially you can see that this guy's the leader, visibility is expected to lead, and so on. So you can see where the pace is. It's slightly faffy, it's not perfect, but we wanted to make it as true a replication of the live experience as possible, and there are some small compromises we've had to make in that. So that's how that looks. Having used it myself for a little while now, I can tell you that it's actually surprising. Well, maybe not surprisingly, but it's very usable anyway. It's I don't feel like it's a hardship to use this pace tab at all. The draw tab is great. It just all fits in the window. Bit of horizontal scroll on the tables, but all your data is there. The charts are there. PRB, let's do that, and then and so on. And you can sort your everything how you like it, and it's all highly usable. And again, that's in the portrait and landscape. We've got more space to play with, and everything fits a little bit more cleanly and looks even better. What else do I want to say? I should show you the odds tab very quickly. Of course it's not working because it's a historical race, so I can't show you the odds tab. I'll go back to one of today's races and we'll look at the odds tab on this race. We just carry these two bookmakers, not because we recommend either of them. In fact, at least one of them I absolutely don't recommend, but we just have the data feeds for these two, and it helps. It's, you know, you would use an odds comparison site, but this is instructive as to what the market is doing, and what sort of prices the horses are at. Almost always, very, very often, you'll be able to get a better price than the best of the two here, so it's definitely worth using an odds comparison site. But as I say, we want to give you an indication of price based on the odds that these two bookmakers are offering. Okay, so those are the cards. I'm conscious of the length of the video, but I do want to show you a couple of other things. I've already showed you the results. Tracker has changed so that we can fit everything again into the viewport. All we've done really is we've made it a bit more modular, in as much as things that were left and right of each other are now on top of each other. This little bit here is a bug that we're aware of and we're about to fix, and you can see that the horses are in this window here, and you can view your notes as usual like that. And then I've got my horses and trainers and jockeys and sires to follow down here, and again we're using horizontal scroll on that. So that's tracker, just as you have it, but obviously in a vertical block now. And the other thing I wanted to show you was the reports. Now we have had to make some compromise on the reports, and I think they're fine, but I don't think they're great, so we definitely do need some more work on these. Basically everything involves scrolling across the page. The reports work a lot better in the landscape mode, so like that. It's still not all of the data in the picture, but you can use your finger to move across left and right. The main body of the information is in the viewport, and again we're working on moving this block back up there, so there won't be this big white space here. There'll be more visible rows of data in the actual viewport. So that's something that we're working on at the moment. But again, I didn't want the report development to stop us going to the mobile view now, because I think it's time for that to happen. I've been promising it for a little while. The devil is always in the detail, and it's been a bit more messy than I expected. Perhaps I should have expected more mess. Anyway, be that as it may, we're pretty much there, and as I say, the reports are fine. They're perfectly usable, but they're not as beautiful as I'd like them to be, or as intuitive as I'd like them to be. We are obviously, as you can see, constrained by space again, so that's the key governor here, is the space constraints. But moving it across with your finger is okay. It's not brilliant. I'm not going to say it's fine, because I don't think it is fine, but it's okay. All right, that's that. Just before I close, I want to show you that if you're a tablet user, then I think the new mobile version is awesome on tablet. I mean, it's basically completely native, and it fits the screen beautifully. I'm really a big fan of our new layout on tablet. Sorry, this is on 75%. Let me just make that 100%. There you go. So this is on the tablet. I'm going to put it that way. There we are. So that's what is that? Portrait on tablet. So long and thin, tall and thin, and you know, it just works really well. As you see, it's slightly different with the layout, but everything's there that you know and love. Full form is pretty much complete, just a little bit of scrolling across. If you toggle it that way, make that 100% again, that's it's completely native. Profiler likewise. In fact, all of it is completely native, and I think it looks beautiful. In fact, if you are a tablet user, this is you're going to really love this. Going to really love the changes that we made. So that's it. 20 minutes now. That's plenty. This is coming any day now. Obviously, when something new comes along, there will be bugs that we haven't trapped. We need your help with those, so please do let us know about any issues you discover. What we plan to do is introduce a kind of a bug fix release in a week or 10 days time. So we're going to put this live this week. We're going to see what gets shaken out of it. We think we've done a pretty good job of getting most of the issues out, but I'm sure there will be some that we haven't identified, and with your help we will, and we'll not only identify them but we'll fix them as well. And then in sort of two weeks time, I hope we'll have a really awesome mobile friendly as well as desktop friendly set of race cards and form tools for you to play with. Okay, I'm really looking forward to sharing these with you, especially if you're a mobile user, and I hope you love them. This is Matt Bisogno saying thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for now.